Hello, welcome back. I'm Bobbie and Kurt again. We're going to talk a little bit more about the home inspection process. And then, we're just going to go ahead and move on. So how can a seller or a homeowner prepare for a home inspection?
So little things like smoke detectors, no one ever thinks about. Every 10 years you're supposed to replace those. Maybe just go around the house, look for typical little maintenance stuff, caulking, anything like that. Of course, clean the house before. But little stuff, just to prepare yourself. Look under the sink, stuff's leaking, or you never know, stuff gets shoved under there and covered up. Move stuff away from the walls for the inspector, that way they can see stuff. Because it's kind of hard to inspect something if you can't see it. So little stuff like that.
So I know when I've walked through with a home inspector, going through the home, there's certain areas they cannot go to because it is blocked, such like the access, yes, for the attic and stuff. So is that something they should
accessible, like the electrical panels? I don't know how many times I've seen stuff stored in front of it and you can't get to it. You're not allowed to move people's personal belongings because we don't want to damage it. So try to move all that stuff away, access to the attics, or even just away from the wall in the middle of the room and the basement so we can see the foundation, stuff like that. But it's hard. When you're living in a home, I have kids, and you get stuff and it gets shoved against the walls and toys, yep, and everything else.
So for them to prepare for that, again, like I said, we all live in our homes. We have kids.
Yeah.
Most of the time we are storing stuff along the wall. Mm-hmm. So to prepare so that whether it's for your own personal home inspection or because of your buyer, what are some of the main things that they really should make sure that it's very important that they do give you access to?
The electrical panel for one, so we can see what's going on. Make sure everything's in proper condition in there. Of course, around the furnace, I don't know how many times I've gone in little furnace rooms and you can't hardly even fit in there, and people have storage in there. And it's hard, but just be courtesy and kind of move that stuff for somebody, and they can actually inspect it or look and see what's going on with the system.
So in the home, like the kitchen, the bathrooms, should they remove stuff out from underneath the sink to give you access to?
It would be best, but it's hard. I mean, when you're living in a home, we totally understand. We try to do our best looking around, pipes, and maybe just declutter it a little bit would help us look for leaks and stuff like that. But they don't have to necessarily remove everything. It's hard. I mean, when you're living in a home, you try to declutter. Like when I sold my house, I decluttered it as much as possible, but you still have a bunch of stuff.
Okay. So what about the garage area?
The garage, as long as we can see, the walls and stuff. But like I said, then again, it's hard. People use their garage. I've even seen, like when I moved, I stored everything in my garage, and then, so it's hard. But to make sure that attic access, typically the attic access is in the garage. There's usually, larger homes, there's two of them, one in the garage and one in the hallway typically. But we could always access both of them. It's better to go through the garage because no matter what, on the inside, you lift that up, you always got some insulation falling down. So.
Yep. And what about the exterior?
The exterior, just the stuff around the exterior of the home, storage. You don't want to store stuff against the house. Wood, that's always attracts termites, so keep that stuff away. But typically on the exterior, you don't store a whole lot in the way. But just maintenance, caulking the windows and doing all that stuff, to prepare for that, or just looking around. So.
And this time of year, we're coming into spring, so in the winter time, I know you guys suggest that, hey, you turn your water spigots off. But coming into this time of year, if we are having a home inspection, we want those turned on, correct?
Yes, definitely, because in the wintertime, everything's no freeze hose bibs. So they shouldn't technically freeze as long as you don't leave a hose hooked up and it freezes and goes back into there. It is a good habit to get in turning all the fixtures off, but this time of year it's nice to have them on so we can test everything and see if that's leaking. And typically that'll start to leak behind the wall. You'll see water coming out, and that pipe is a no freeze and it's got a rubber washer back inside the house. That pipe can be broken, and that way we know what's going on with the fixture, and we can put in our report to repair it or replace it.
Okay. If a homeowner wants to reach out to you to have a pre-sale inspection, how can they get a hold of you?
They can get a hold of me at 314-497-7371. Call me anytime, usually till about 7 o'clock at night. I'll answer the phone. So
perfect. Meet us back here again next week, and we'll continue on our conversation on home inspection.